Hello, everybody. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the franchise, the monopoly that is Micky Byggs, and you're listening to Wrestling Spotlight. Today, I have a great guest, and ladies and gentlemen, the guest of the night, he has traveled the country chasing the AIWF World title for the past 2 years. He is the most over guy in the industry. This past Saturday, actually 2 Saturdays ago, he realized his dream and defeated Salem Sinner 6. Ladies and gentlemen, the new AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, Justine Overstreet. Champ, welcome to Wrestling Spotlight.
Thanks for having me again, man.
How you doing today, brother?
I'm good, dude. Just got out of the tanning bed, actually. I'm about to head up the gym in next few minutes.
There you go. I hear that. So, you know, the fans of Wrestling Spotlight aren't too familiar with you. Give us some background on who Justine Overstreet is and how long he's been in the business.
Yeah, definitely. I just started training like 5 years ago. I started out in Dothan, Alabama, for a small promotion called Southern Extreme Wrestling. My partner, who is officially who broke me into the business, Zane Stevens. And then a few months later, I started seeking help to get better training as well. So I accidentally emailed Ray Lloyd, who is also known as Glacier from WCW. And, you know, at first I thought I made the biggest mistake in the world. Second, you know, he sent me an email back and said, you know, he loved the professional attitude that I had and that he was willing to help me out from there on. So, you know, the past 3 years I've been working alongside with Glacier and bettering my craft and trying to just get to the top. And then past year and a half, I've been with Q-Ball Carmichael as well. I've attended like 3 of his seminars along with Pat Cusick and Damian Wayne Castle as well. And, you know, I've been in 15 different states in the past 3 years as well. So, you know, all 3 of these guys pretty much showed me how to hit it hard and get to where I wanted to be.
Pretty cool. Now, how did you accidentally email Glacier? How did that come about?
Well, I already had his email somehow programmed into my Yahoo account. If I'm not mistaken, I was trying to help that once promotion in Dothan get a hold of him for a future booking maybe. And I sent him an email and saved his email. And then I sent my wrestling resume to close to like 200 promotions, and I just accidentally sent it to his promotion because I thought he was, you know, there was a lot of R promotions, and his email is Ray Lloyd. So about a week later, he sent me an email back saying, "I'm not sure what it is you're looking for there, guy, but you know, I do like the professional attitude you have here. You know, I'm willing to help you out and see what I can help you do." Wow,
that must have been a thrill for you.
Oh yeah, dude, that's a humbling thrill right there. You know, it's like this guy was in WCW. You grew up watching him, and now you think you made a mistake, and you're probably gonna get blackballed for it. And then, you know, he just goes to show you he's just another normal human being as well.
Exactly. Now, you know, it's funny because when I think of that Glacier character from WCW, one thing that always makes me think of is Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat. I've always loved how he came out with that character, and he's a great guy. Now, you also said that you hooked up with Q-Ball Carmichael, and from what I understand, when you first started talking with him, he thought you were joking with him?
Oh, yeah, definitely. See, the guy who also broke me in, Zane Stevens, we was already getting mentored by Bomber Jack Lord up in Birmingham, Alabama, and he told us, you know, we should email this guy, Q-Ball Carmichael, and, you know, send him some videos and, you know, see about getting advice about coming up and training and stuff. So, you know, we sent him like 3 videos apiece of us together, and the first thing he wrote back to us was like, "Dude, is this a fucking real right here?"
Yeah, that sounds like something Carmichael would say.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, he later emailed us like 2 or 3 years later. He was like, you know, I was probably in my little I hate everybody mood when I wrote that, but he said, but it was definitely the first thing I thought was somebody was definitely ribbing me. I thought Jack Lord was ribbing me.
Oh no. So now, you are the current AIWF World Heavyweight Champion, and you did take that belt a couple weeks ago from Salem Sinner 6 over at the C4W show?
Yes, sir, C4W.
And, you know, that was a great match, but you had been chasing the title around for 2 years before that. Can you tell us a little bit about that experience as far as, you know, chasing a belt around the country?
Well, see, originally, you know, I found AIWF on Facebook about 2.5 years ago, and, you know, at first I didn't know what it was, but, you know, I started doing some studying on them, and I saw where they were in the PWI magazine, and, you know, back 2.5 years ago, they had promotions all over the United States, And so I was like, hey, I gotta join this. So, I gotta see what I can do by getting into the title rankings. And I think back then it was Louis Moore that was the champion, and it was right before the Chief, took over. And ever since then it was pretty much whenever I got into it. And then they had the whole little debacle of Chief running off with the belt and all that good stuff, and I saw that as an open opportunity. There's a vacant champion. They're definitely looking for somebody who can, bring this little stink that just got put on the map and put it back on the map and have it a positive vibe. And, that's one thing I've always been about in my career is just having a positive outlook on it and being about the fans and, make sure that everything for fantasy is going to be something good for wrestling.
Right. So now this C4W show, I was at the show. I had the opportunity to talk with you backstage. I did have the opportunity, as kind of freaky as it was, talking with Salem Center 6. For what talking he actually did, it was more grunting, I guess. But he's a big dude, man. What were you thinking when you first came out to the ring before your match, when you had that little altercation with him before the match? And everybody just had to split everybody apart. What were you thinking at that point? What was going through your head? Why did you do that?
I guess a little bit. There's heart there for me. I've always been the guy that always had to go towards the bully, because all my friends when I was growing up was always, the smaller guys in the class, and I just so happened to, I guess, hit puberty early, so I was always taller and bigger. So, it's just like, the champion has become a bully. He got the belt and he became a big bully, and I'm on the other side of the fence on that one. So when I saw him do what he had to do, I had to strike. I had to make sure he knew that I was there and that I wasn't going to run from him like everybody else has. And from then on, I think the rest of it made it exciting. I know I had anxiety, excitement, all wrapped up in a ball by the time the match came up.
Now, was there any intimidation factor there? I mean, did you feel intimidated in any way by, your bigger challenger?
You can't simply just walk into a ring with someone that's bigger than you, especially when you're already bigger than, about 80% of an indie wrestling locker room already.
True.
So, there was a little bit of intimidation there, because you just can't walk into a fight like that knowing what to do.
Now, he's a pretty talented guy, and I did have the opportunity to step in the ring there with him for a brief moment in time, and now I guess I'm on his hit list, if you will, but that's neither here nor there. Tell the fans, when you actually had your hand raised in victory, and has it set in yet? Have you finally come to the realization that, yeah, I beat him, I won that match, and I'm the new AIWF World Heavyweight Champion?
When they raised my hand, I'll be honest with you, I was still seeing stars, because one is not simply take a choke slam from like 7.5 feet in the air and not feel, a little cuckoo from it. So, but it took a while, man. I don't think it really sat in until I was actually in the locker room just sitting down, and just all of the adrenaline stopped rushing, because it was pretty much the adrenaline that kept me moving from then on.
Right.
But, once that settled down and I was just sitting there with the title belt, it just hits you like that.
Now, did you get home and go to bed that night and wake up the next morning like, was it all a dream, or did it happen? Am I really the champion?
Man, let me tell you what my night was. So I ended up driving the whole night. Like, I had a buddy with me. He drove from like 11 o'clock from South Carolina, and once we got to Savannah, Georgia, it was 2 a.m., and so I took over the reins, and I drove all night, all the way straight to Panama City, and I couldn't sleep, So I ended up, my wife greeted me at the door. My kids were there. They were happy. They saw the belt, and they lit up. So, and, when you're a father with a family, you don't just simply go to bed, because by the time I got home, it was like 11 a.m., and they were already hyper and ready to go. So
there you go.
I had to go the whole day just doing the family duties. And, at night, whenever I got home finally, it was probably about 7 p.m., and it all sat in right there, I tell you, I know when I hit the hay, though, I hit it hard.
I don't know, man. It's got to be a great feeling to go into the arena in such a fashion that you did as the underdog, and go home that next day or that night as the new world heavyweight champion. I can't imagine what that was like for you, but you know, it's got to be an amazing feeling even today to just sit there and say, you know what, I'm the champion. You know what, I deserve it.
Well, you know, it's like it's not often that I'm really the underdog. You know, like I'm a pretty big guy myself. You know, 6'4", 250 pounds. But yeah, just going into something knowing you're the underdog, it's like an unknown territory. You know, it brought me back to whenever I first started, and I was like 160 pounds. So, you know, the only thing I knew to do was fight from there.
Now, how has your life changed being the new champ in town?
You know, I've had a lot of promoters contact me. You know, I've had a lot of podcasts contact me about doing interviews. I mean, it's just like, you know, I can't keep my phone from stop the ringing and my, you know, my Facebook and Twitter from stop its notifications. But, you know, I'm a really humble guy, and at home I try to keep it really humble. You know, like I beg my wife not to treat me any different, and, you know, she hasn't. So, I mean, besides the notifications and the cell phone going off, you know, nothing's really changed. I mean, I still try and, you know, hit the gym as hard as I can and just plan for the next road trip.
Okay, sounds good. You know, what are the plans now for the AIWF title belt? I mean, who's your next challenge? What's on the, you know, in the horizons for you right now?
Well, see, first off, you know, I plan on defending it every day that I can. So, you know, I don't think you're going to go and see a week that I don't defend the title. But the next opponent is going to be Raphael King. He's out of Atlanta, Georgia. He's actually the fiance of the AIWF Women's Champion, Devin Nicole. So, you know, that's a little interesting, I guess, feature to add to what's going on. But, you know, it's going to be April 5th, which is this Saturday in Delville, Alabama for AIWF's promotion SXW, which is, you know, the promotion I originally started at. So, you know, I guess that's just a way it goes full circle. You know, you go back to where you started from to defend the title for the first time.
There you go. Now, is there any talks of having a rematch with Salem Center 6?
You know, I talk about it. I'm sure he talks about it. You know, like, I'm the kind of guy, I want to go ahead and get it out of the way. You know, I'm not hiding from it. We're just waiting on the right promotion to contact us both and say, hey, you know, we want to put the rematch on.
So, you know, I know you're busy, but I do have one final question for you, and that is, as somebody that's been in this industry for, you know, a while, and somebody that's had the career that you've had, if someone came up to you today and said, you know, Justin, you know, what does it take to become a pro wrestler? You know, that's my dream. I want to do it. You know, what should I do? What steps should I take?
Personally, I say the number one thing it's going to take to get as far as you want to get is patience. You know, everybody wants results right away, but it takes a lot of patience. And, you know, you just find you a legit, remarkable trainer as well. You know, there's so many guys out there that want to train, you know, for $100, $300, you know, carry my bags. But the thing is, you know, they haven't really did anything or been anywhere or been trained by anybody as well. And, you know, there's just a lot of con artists out there. So, you know, personally, I say, first of all, you should try and find somebody like Bomber Jack Lord and Q-Ball Carmichael, and, you know, people who have done something with their careers and made a living at it once in their life, and then now they're looking to really honestly give back, you know. So, like, Q-Ball Carmichael is really a top one for me at the moment because past year and a half, he's just, you know, taken me under his wing and shown me a lot more in how to look at it in a different perspective. So, you know, a year and a half, he got pretty much, I can say, he got me to the AIWF World Heavyweight Championship along with Glacier as well. Very good, very good.
Now, one final question for you, and this has nothing to do with your career specifically, just as somebody that is in the business. WrestleMania is this weekend, this Sunday. Does Undertaker keep the streak, or does he lose it to Brock Lesnar?
You know, honestly, I see there's no reason for him to lose it this year. You know, of course, he's getting older. He's getting, you know, like his body ain't there anymore. But it would make there's no reason for him to just give it up now. You know, it's not time. Personally, I think Taker's going to walk away with it.
You think so?
Oh yeah, I think it's going to end dramatically as well. I think he's gonna walk away with a streak, but he's not going to walk out, you know, on his own.
Yeah, there will probably be a little bit of reminiscence of last year's WrestleMania with him and Triple H.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of close calls going on, but I think Taker's going to take it. This is his gig, and on top of all that, I think what I see is a lot of foreshadowing. I think because every year after like the Shawn Michaels match and WrestleMania 26, he hasn't really walked out by himself. He was carted off one time, and then he had the help of Triple H and Shawn Michaels. So,
exactly.
You're seeing a lot of foreshadowing, I think. I think what Vince and Triple H and Undertaker have all got together and thought about is they're going to make them it's like the Rocky sequels. He's going to keep fighting, and then I say by the next year WrestleMania, whoever his opponent's going to be, that's probably when it ends, if he ends up making it to that Mania.
I would have to agree with that 110%. Okay, now WrestleMania prediction: who walks out as the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion from one World Champion to the next? Is it going to be the one and only Dave Bautista? Is it going to be Randy Orton? Is it going to be Triple H, or is it going to be Daniel Bryan?
A lot of people are giving me hell over who I think is going to win, and I understand why, but personally, I think in the long run, if you want to make money and give Daniel Bryan the right, proper win for the World Heavyweight Championship, you let Triple H win it at WrestleMania.
And then have Daniel Bryan take it from him on Raw.
Oh yeah, dude. If you have Triple H win and then take this all the way to Money in the Bank will sell out, knowing that Daniel Bryan will cash in his Money in the Bank on Triple H that night.
I like that plan, my brother. Hey, any last words you want to say to the fans of Wrestling Spotlight?
Definitely. I just appreciate all the support that I get from the fans and all the emails that congratulated me for winning the championship. If it wasn't for the fans, I wouldn't even probably be doing this right now. So I just want to, for sure, send a shout-out to all the fans that are definitely watching and spending their hard-earned money just to go to an indie wrestling event.
I have to agree with that. Support your indie wrestling and, especially good indie wrestling. Justin, it's been a pleasure to have you on. Got to get you on again real soon sometime. Good luck with your match on, that's coming up for you. And I hope you successfully defend that title belt. And anytime you want to be on, you just give me a shout.
All right, definitely, man. Just let me know. I'm usually always open to do it.
Sounds good, my brother. Wrestling Spotlight, the man, the myth, the legend, the franchise, the monopoly that is Micky Byggs. We'll see you next time at ringside.